For this next one, you have g of x equaling, let's go ahead and write it where we can see it a little better. I want to find g of negative 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out all the x's. So I have x cubed minus x plus 1. So I took out all the x's. What's in parentheses here is a negative 2. So I'm going to put negative 2's through there. Okay, so a negative 2 cubed is a negative 8. Two negatives here make a positive 2 plus 1. And so this would give me the value negative 5. Now I want to include an extra one because I think there's one like this on your quiz for the week. Let's say you had a radical. I want you to find this function, f of 5. Now I don't think this one's in your blank notes for those of you that print out the blank notes, so you might want to write it in. Now just like any other function, you're going to take f of 5. Here's your radical. I take the x out, so it's x plus 11, and that's how it would look. What's in parentheses here is a 5, so I'll just put a 5 in parentheses here. So when I simplify this out, I get 5 plus 11, which is 16. But it's 16 under the radical. So 16 under the radical would be the square root of 16, which would just be the value 4. Okay, lastly in this section you have the vertical line test. This is not something that I'll test you on your quiz or on your exam. However, for those of you taking future math classes, the vertical line test might be something that you'll need. First of all, I want to refresh your memory that a vertical line goes up and down. So that's what a vertical line would look like. Now the next thing I want to tell you about with graphs, and we'll get into graphs later in this chapter, but that's the actual graph, the curve part that I've overemphasized, not the coordinate. Not the coordinate plane, not the axis, or axes for that matter. That's when I'm saying does your line cross a graph, it's that bolded curve that you see there. So reading the horizontal line test, it says if you can find a vertical line that intersects the graph in more than one point, then that graph is not a function. Remember earlier in our definition, I said for every x there's exactly one y. That makes a function. If there's more than one, it's not a function. So that's why we're looking for crossing it exactly once. If I draw a vertical line through this graph, it crosses one time. That means it is a function. There we go. Now, let's look at the second one. It's a parabola that's turned on its side. There's what the graph looks like. My goodness, sorry, the pen is playing tricks on me. Okay, there's what the graph looks like. If I draw a vertical line through this graph, it crosses it 2 times. Crosses it 2 times, that means it is not a function. One time, if it crosses it one time, it is a function. If it crosses it more than once, it is not a function.